All right, welcome back to the Long Shot Podcast. Here with SEC All-Freshman Team, SEC Newcomer of the Year, second team All-SEC, probably should have been first. NBA All-Rookie second team, definitely should have been first. Of course, Miami Heat legend, known to many as the baby goat, boy wonder, whatever you want to call him. Tyler, appreciate you coming on, bro. Thank you very much for joining us.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
No, of course. I want to bring it back here for a second for the listeners to when I first met you, which was Summer League. Obviously, at that point, your reputation preceded you a little bit. I knew who you were, of course, seen you play a bunch, but hadn't met you. And we're gearing up to play Summer League. And Eric Glass, who's works on staff with Miami Heat, he was the Summer League head coach, comes up to me and goes, because how the Summer League in Sacramento was structured is you played Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And he goes, look, I don't want Tyler to play any back-to-backs. So, he's already going to have a bunch coming at him. Like, it's going to be hard for him to pick up the speed of the game, all this stuff. Like, I want Tyler to play Monday, Wednesday, and I want you to play Monday, Tuesday, because I want you guys to play together, but I want to stagger it.
Yeah.
Of course, like 6 minutes into the first game, it's like very clear that it's just not too much for you at all. Like you're not sped up at all. You're like playing under control. You're making shots. You're setting up other people. Like, looking back, what do you remember about that first professional experience that like really sticks out to you?
Yeah. Obviously, like you said, just coming into Summer League, you don't, know what to expect. It's a jump from college to Summer League, then to the league. And I was just didn't know what to expect, like going in, I'm like, well, am I going to be sped up? Do I have to perform and really show people, I am a lottery pick? But, I just really went out there and kind of just, let the game come to me. And like you said, it kind of just flowed and went how it was supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, it was clear right away that stuff wasn't going to be an issue, at least like in the Summer League level. But then, of course, it ramps up even more. But, it's crazy to me to look back at like us two, K9, hooping, and like we're trying to win Summer League games.
Summer League, yeah.
and then fast forward a couple months and we're like all out there trying to win playoff games.
Yeah, all three of us like really heavily in the rotation. Like, it's crazy.
And it happens so fast. Like, that blur for you, is it just like you just taking it as it comes, like one step at a time, or are there moments in the playoffs when you look back and like, damn, that was like a year ago. I was getting drafted and I was playing Summer League, and now I'm trying to have the Miami Heat advance.
Yeah, it was just trying to embrace the moment. Like you said, it just happened so quick, and for me, just jumping even from like high school to college to the league, it happened so fast. So for me, it was just embracing everything and really just letting it all and taking it all in at once. Like you said, it does happen so fast, and we're still taking it in as we go today.
I think it's so funny, Tyler, because like you said, within a 2-year span, you went from high school to playing in the NBA Finals, whereas like Duncan is the opposite, right? He did like 5 years of high school, 5 years of college. Guy feels like he's been in the NBA now for 5 years.
Right.
But you guys were both referred to as rookies last season, but just the differences in where you're at in your careers. I'm curious, Dunk, you said in that Summer League, Tyler's reputation was preceding himself. Tyler, this is for both of you, what were you guys like early perceptions of each other? Tyler, do you remember like playing in that Summer League with Dunk, what your first perceptions of him were?
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't know. Like, I know Duncan, he played at Michigan and everything like that, but I didn't know, to be honest, like how good of a shooter he really is. Like, until you go out there and you practice with him and shoot with him every day, it's like, yo, this dude has a real life clip. Like, every single day, every shot he shoots, you think is going in. Like, one of them is. So it's just like, and then we got to know each other at a personal level, and that was, I see him working out every day and just continuing to put that work in. So. And it's amazing to see, like you said, he did 5 years in high school or college, whatever, and I did too. But everyone has their own path, and I always tell people that, So it's awesome to see, everyone has their own different path, and it all ends up working out.
I appreciate you putting that how you did, because you easily could have said that I just didn't have a reputation at that point, which I definitely didn't. But yeah, I mean, of Tyler coming in, like obviously, like I remember draft night, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there waiting to see who the Heat are going to draft,
Yeah.
and then it's like, they're talking about it afterwards. Like, what does he bring to the Heat? Oh, the Heat really need shooting. The Heat really need this. And I'm like sitting on my couch, like, I'm like, damn, like, it's like that. Like, but I mean, of course. So like early on, and obviously we're both competitive people. So there's like that, I don't want to say like chip, but like there's something there where it's like, no, like I'm trying to, in every shooting drill, like I'm trying to win that the same way I knew you were trying to do the exact same thing.
Right.
But then I think for me, where it like really started to shift was like you moved past summer league. And then when you got to Miami, bro, like I just had so much admiration and respect for the way that you would show up and work. Like every single day. And it got to the point where like, between the three of us, me, you, and K Nunn, like we're just in there every day where like it almost felt like then it became like, all right, like now we're just the young guys and we're all trying to come in here and like make noise. Like we're trying to prove ourselves in this league. None of us had done anything in the league. But it's just crazy to think like just the little shift of like, it's only a month, right? You're in summer league and then you end up in the preseason, but so much had changed in that short stretch for sure.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt. It's like jumping from, we're them guys on the summer league team, we get all the shots, we can shoot whatever shot we want. And then, you get to the big, the actual team. And it's like, now, like you said, we're here to prove ourselves and really, make a name for ourselves in the league. So it was just crazy. Like you said, we were just working every single day. We were coming in at 6 a.m. for a month or two there, and it was good. I love those times.
Well, that was funny in that obviously like Jimmy's 4 a.m. workouts get reported and picked up by the different media outlets, but like a lot of it started in that like I found out you were coming in at 6 a.m. and I was like, hold on, like he's not gonna get work in while I'm sleeping. Like, nah. Like, I'm like, so then I would start to ask you. I'd be like, T, you going in the morning? You'd be like, yeah, man. And you were like trying to be weird about it, like, yeah, bro, like come through. So then I would be there at 6 a.m. and then we had a little crew at 6 a.m. And then of course Jimmy finds out and he wants to be like already done in full sweat with his workout by the time we get there.
6 a.m. He pulls up at 4:30, full sweat when we walk in the gym. Like, He got his beat.
he always got to like one up everybody else. But I respect it. I mean, it's that like collective competitiveness that I feel like makes us all like a fit for the organization.
That's what they said. That chip on our shoulder throughout the playoffs last year that's exactly it right there. Like you said, you see me, because that was exactly how I was in college. Like, if I seen a teammate going to the gym, I'm like, no, I'm going too. There's no way he's going to be getting in work without me, like sitting in the dorm room. That's not happening. So, I mean, that's why what makes us, special, like you said, as a team.
What's it like for the two of you playing with each other? You Miami fans have coined you guys as the Splash Bros 2.0, which I'm all here for, by the way. But we're recording this. You guys played Orlando. You guys beat Orlando last night, and there was a point in the second quarter where I think between the two of you, you hit 4 threes in a row on 4 straight possessions. And so it is like there are these flashes where you guys obviously are 2 elite shooters. What's it like playing off each other's momentum, feeding off each other's momentum, just being in the backcourt together? Yeah,
for me, I would just say like, I love seeing like shooters, especially like Dunk. I've never really played with a shooter that I can say like, he shoots better than me, just as good as me or better. So it's like, I love seeing Dunk come off them screens and just, like you said, he can run them off like the Splash Bros, did and they still are. But it's crazy. So I mean, I love playing with Dunk and just getting him involved, and I love seeing him, hit threes.
I mean, first off, Dave, I appreciate you not mentioning the point in the game where I missed 5 straight early in the game. But I think that Tyler. I think there's like a propensity to put people in a box too, like Tyler and I in the same box, especially if you don't necessarily like watch us. Like Tyler and I are very different players too. like Tyler has an ability to create and has like a feel and a vision. And he's just so like I'll speak on like he's so much better with the ball in his hand. So his ability to play on the ball and my, I guess, like comfortability with just being off the ball. Like I'm cool. Like, you know, I'll play off of him. But I will say like seeing there's definitely like a compounding effect of like, you know, you hit a couple and then even for me, sometimes it starts to feel like the rim's getting a little bigger just because I see you start to make them. And you get that confidence where like, if you start rattling them off, it can be like debilitating for teams and defenses of like, damn, like, this dude just hit two. This dude just hit two. And we have obviously, of course, more than just us two that can go and make them. But yeah, I want to talk a little bit about your development as a player in terms of a lot of people thought coming in that's just what you were, that you were like going to come off pin downs and do that sort of thing, which you do and are capable of doing. But I think people have quickly realized how much more to your game that you have. Have you like, has it been a conscious effort to like break down that stereotype of like, I'm just a catch and shoot player? Or has it just like, do you feel that you've always had this ability and that now people are just really getting to notice it?
Yeah, I would say like, I think people are just starting to notice it. You know, I think growing up and like, I've never came off like a pin down and like catch and shoot off a pin down or off a wide or something like that. Like that's never really been my game. Like, at Kentucky, I come off a pin down, and I'm usually, like you said, I'm first to put it on the floor or put it, you know, something like that. So I think where really my development has helped in that is, I think you've really helped in that too, just where I can, you know, study you and study your footwork and how you get your hands and everything ready coming off the catch and shoots. So I mean, you know, I think for sure I had to break that. You know, he's just a shooter, just a catch and shoot player, but. You know, I feel like every time I'm on a big stage, I can you know try to show people that I have more to my game than just catching and shooting.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch the high school mixtapes, obviously, like you have the ball in your hands, nonstop, like you're creating, right. And then of course, you know, people are gonna, the talking heads or whatever are gonna say like, all right, but that's, you know, playing against high school kids in Wisconsin, he's not gonna be able to do that at Kentucky, but you did a lot of those same things at Kentucky, and then once again the same thing gets said like, all right, but he's a catch and shoot player at the next level, like he's providing spacing in the league, and then once again it becomes like no, like so it for you, is it just annoying to like just keep hearing that, or is it just like, you know what, man, just keep adding it to the chip, like I'm good.
It's definitely something that motivates me, you know. Because like you said, every level, so they always, and I'm sure they say the same about you, you know, you're not going to be able to get your shot off or something like that at the next level. But I think that's where that competitive spirit comes in, to just continue to prove people wrong. And, you know, whatever they say or they may say, you know, like you won't be able to do it at the next level. That just, like you said, adds to the chip and adds to the fire. So just coming in and year out, you try to add something new and you know, really just try to improve your game.
Just to piggyback off of that, and like I want to try to get specific in terms of like this offseason. I know this past offseason was kind of a weird one just because obviously we had the time before the bubble and then like a brief time after it. But I guess we'll say this, moving forward to like this upcoming offseason, is there something that you like one thing, one tangible thing that like, you know what, man, like I see so-and-so do this and like I want to add this or I want to have this, or do you not necessarily even think about it? You're just locked in on the year right now.
I'm definitely already thinking about the off season, you know, just because as players, we know where we're struggling at, you know, more than anybody. You know, we know where our weaknesses are. You know, we know when we're feeling uncomfortable in certain situations. So I'm definitely, you know, I jot notes down and you know, just try to add to my notebook on what I want to work on come summertime. So for me right now, I want to figure out really how to draw fouls, you know, where you can get to the free throw line, and whether it's off the dribble or even just getting guys in the air and throwing your body into them and walking to the line. Because I think, you know, the points per game can really go up for anybody just by getting to the free throw line, you know. Guys walk, so a lot of the elite scorers walk into the game with already, like Jimmy, 10 free throws, so he's starting with 10 points. So it's not
It's crazy.
He's really
bro.
getting 17, but then the 10 free throws it adds to 27 every time.
It's actually crazy. Like, and obviously all the great scorers, like you said, like that's a natural step. But there's also like you see people add that to their game. I think that's a great one because like it's exactly that. It's just something that you need to be like more intentional about. I think about it for myself all the time. It's like I have all these opportunities to get guys in the air because people are jumping at shot fakes, but like I just don't have that muscle yet of like
it really is a muscle. You have to really work it. And I don't know what muscle, how you work it, but you know, you just really, like you said, you just have to be intentional about it and really focus on it.
Yeah, now that takes everything. Even if it's like 2 more trips to the free throw line, right? Like you go from averaging 17 to 21, which is like being obviously a really good player to like, damn, borderline all-star. Like it just, it's like incremental, but it moves the needle for sure. Exactly. Just little stuff like that.
Yep, no doubt, for sure.
I want to ask about, we talked about high school briefly. I want to just take it back real quick. We can keep it brief. We don't need to spend too much time on this. But I remember talking to you last year, talking about when you decommitted from Wisconsin and how you're getting death threats and like crazy stuff. You know, your house is getting egged, like whatever, all sorts of crazy stuff. We don't need to like get too much into that, but do you ever think about like how differently does everything look right now if you end up on campus at Madison?
I was literally talking about that last night. Like it comes up with my boys like back home all the time because it's like you really never know. But just like I said, I've never been a player that comes off pin downs and plays in like a super structured like swing offense, and I think that's where I would be at. So I mean, I would say it's like I said, I'm competitive, so I'll be able to adapt. But at the same time, it's like that's not where I would probably fit best. So I'm sure it would look completely different right now. I might be getting ready for my senior year.
I mean, I think that like you have an ability, obviously, and like I referenced earlier, like you put in the work. So I don't necessarily think that it's a guarantee that you'd like still be in college or anything, but it is crazy. And I can only imagine you've seen this too of like how important in basketball situation and opportunity is. Whereas no you might have had all the ability in the world playing for Greg Gard, but like he might not have just ever given you that opportunity to really be who you are.
Exactly.
Whereas like you go to Kentucky and I mean, from everything I've heard, and tell me if I'm wrong, like Coach Cal is enabling you guys to like be yourself, like go be aggressive, like be who you are.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I tell even my little brothers that all the time. You know, it's all about opportunity, and even young guys who are getting ready to commit. If they ask me, I always tell them, you know, don't really pick what the name says on the front of the jersey, because at the end of the day, it's about what coach is really going to embrace you at that campus and give you the opportunity. And really, you and the assistant or head coach have to be on the same page of, you know, what your goals are. And if that's getting to the NBA, then, you know, then make sure that the coach knows that.
Before you got to Kentucky, was it one and done? Like, was that like, obviously it's a goal to have the opportunity to leave, but like, were you like locked in, like, man, this can be my one and only year?
No, I honestly coming in, I was like, I'll probably be here for 2 years. Like, come in, I don't know what I'm gonna do my freshman year. My freshman year, or my year that I was there at the beginning of the season, we were really guard heavy. Like, we had 2 sophomores returning, and they were both guards. And then, you know, my class coming in had 3 or 4 guards. So we had like 5 or 6 guards on the roster. And I was like, I'm the lowest recruited, you know, guy coming in. There's no chance I'm going to, you know, play. And then I ended up starting. So that's the opportunity that we're talking about. You know, if I don't get that opportunity to really go out there and prove myself, I might be there for 2 or 3 years.
How much do you think your ability to make shots consistently was the separator of getting you on the floor?
Yeah, I think that was probably it, you know?
Like it, right?
I feel like every year at Kentucky, the guy that can really, you know, run off those, you know, curl plays and, you know, can really put the ball in the basket, that's the guy that they really run through. And by the end of the year, they were running everything through me. So I would definitely say it has to do with, my ability to put it in the basket.
I mean, it's like you said, like Jamal Murray, Malik Monk, and then it was you. It's crazy though, man. Like, obviously, I'm a little biased because obviously that's what I do is shoot. But like, it's crazy how people get caught up in like there's always going to be a role for somebody that can make shots at a high level. Like,
no doubt.
it's honestly the ultimate separator because like everybody can kind of shoot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you hoop and you play at a high level, like everybody can kind of shoot. But if you do it to a point where it's like, damn, that guy can really shoot. It's just like the ultimate separator. Obviously, like I said, I'm biased. I'm sure you are too, but that's how I feel.
No, it is. And I remember growing up, like I told someone, my dream should be getting the NBA, and they're like, well, you can do it if you can really do one thing really well and master what you do. And it was like, for me, it was obviously shooting, as you can relate. So it's like, yeah, if you can really shoot the ball, you'll have a job for a while because every team needs someone that can, space the floor.
It's been a long road, but 2021 is looking up. New beginnings mean new opportunities to grow your business. If part of your strategy is adding new members to your team, LinkedIn Jobs finds the right person quickly. To make things better, your first job post is free.
Yes, LinkedIn is an active community of professionals with more than 722 million members worldwide, and getting started is easier than ever with new features to help you find qualified candidates quickly. Post a job with targeted screening questions, and LinkedIn will quickly get your role in front of more qualified candidates, which is what everybody wants.
You can manage job posts and contact candidates from a single view, as functions are streamlined onto one simple screen. And now you can do this all from your mobile device, no matter where the day takes you. So when your business is ready to make that next hire, find the right person with LinkedIn Jobs. And don't forget, now you can post a job for free. Just visit linkedin.com/longshot. Again, that's linkedin.com/longshot. One word, longshot, to post a job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Okay, Hoops fans, the tournament is finally here. The brackets have been set and the teams are ready to hit the court. And DraftKings, the leader in one-day fantasy, is celebrating with their largest free college basketball survivor pool ever. How large? We're talking $1 million large.
Whoa.
$1 million in total prizes is up for grabs.
And if that's not enough, which it should be, but if it's not, check this out. When you enter the free DraftKings $1 million survivor pool, you could get a shot at winning $10,000 for every upset through the first 2 rounds of the tournament. It's easy to play. Just pick one team per day. If they win, you survive and advance to the next round. Last person standing is the winner. Remember, you can only pick a team once for the entire tournament, so choose wisely.
I got some upsets I'm already thinking about that I got in the back pocket here. And remember, DraftKings is a safe and secure app. You can deposit and withdraw your funds at your convenience. So get in on all of this week's action. Download the DraftKings app now. Enter code LONG during signup and enter the free $1 million survivor pool. Again, that is code LONG to enter into DraftKings free $1 million survivor pool. Eligibility restrictions and terms and conditions apply. See DraftKings.com for more details.
I want to get to this year in Miami for both you guys. How different is the locker room today than it was like 2 months ago? Because 2 months ago, you guys are COVID protocol, injury ridden, under 500, and now you're healthy. You guys are rolling a little bit. I assume it is a drastic difference being around the guys.
Oh yeah, it's completely different. I mean, I didn't think I told Dunk that. Forgot it was after a game. We were walking back because we have 2 separate locker rooms now because of COVID. So the younger guys are in another locker room, and I remember going back. I'm like, yeah, just imagine where we were. Like, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. We had lost to Charlotte. Everyone was throwing shit around. It was crazy. And then we ended up winning a couple of games, and everyone's back. Temperatures calm. But I mean, I think that's how it should be, especially with the expectations that we had coming into the year. We expected to be good and expected to win. So, I expected, if we lose, then people should be upset because that's not who we are.
The last thing you want is to be in a place where, you start 7-13 and people are just cool with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think everyone's looking around and like everyone's pulling their hair out and everyone's pissed off, but it's like, shit, we're all pissed off together. Like, we're all in this together. And that's what drives like solutions, and that obviously, we get healthy, we get some pieces back and we start to figure some things out. But like, I think that's part of what makes, I'm not trying to be like corny or cliche, but like it's kind of what makes, Miami kind of who we are really, in that like we can go to that place and not let it get totally like detrimental and destructive, and that we can bounce back and like figure some things out, find solutions and move forward.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Because I think like we were 7-13, but I think deep down everyone had that thing like, we're gonna turn this around. We're not going the whole year and ending up 15-60 or some shit like that. Like, we're not doing that.
And then Tyler, for you specifically, or you individually, your years looked a little different too. Like, there have been spurts where you're starting, there are now spurts where you're coming off the bench, but Spo's been very open that it's not about who's starting, it's about who's closing games. You're still closing games and you're playing starter minutes. But how does your approach change, whether it's one or the two, whether you're starting or coming off the bench?
Yeah, it was hard at first, to be able to start. Everyone wants to start and then get moved to the bench. It was a lot mentally at first, but I just try to do what's best for the team. And I feel like you said, I do finish games, and I just got to continue to produce in the fourth quarter so that I can finish games. But it's a trust thing, I think, to be able to finish games and be out there when the game's on the line.
I want to go back to just kind of like the Miami Heat in general. And for you, what were like your early impressions of, what like quote unquote Heat culture, whatever you want to call it? Like, is there something that really stuck out to you early on?
I think, and when you say early on, I take it back like all the way to summer league. Like, that first day when we were there in SAC, it was like you felt the Heat culture. We walked in and did 2 days for the training camp, and I'm talking
some slides, all that stuff.
Yeah. We're doing shell drill and everything. Like, and I'm talking to my other, the other rookies in the league, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not doing 2 days and stuff like that." But I mean, at Kentucky, that's what we were. We did 2 days, sometimes 3 days over Christmas break. So it was like, this is what I want. Especially a young guy coming into the league, you want to come in and learn as much as possible and really work hard. So, Heat culture is what it is, but we embrace it.
Tyler, you talked about your ability to close games and the faith that the coaching staff has in you to close games. From the outside, like you guys were talking about, right? Like, if you can do one thing well, and for both of you, it's shooting. From the outside, it seems like another one of your best value or best skills is just your ability to rise in big moments, in big occasions. Like, you're not shying away from any moment. Is there anything you attribute that to? Like, is that something, that's obviously something you develop, but where does that confidence come from?
I think just the work, the work we put in, work I put in every day, and just the focus it takes, And honestly, I've been seriously, I'm not kidding you. I've been hitting big shots like since I've started hooping, like middle school. Like, I've always wanted to take the big shot. Like, I don't know, it's just something that I've grown up with, I guess. Like, I seriously I just take big shots. I like it.
I think it's like to go off of this, like, obviously, like, you check the box of the work, but like, other people check that box too, and that doesn't necessarily mean that lights come on, games winding down, that you're built for that. And so I think, like, because I want to make a distinction too. Like, there are irrational confidence guys that, like, whatever, don't give a fuck. Like, they don't even feel pressure. Like, it doesn't even exist to them. And I'm not saying you're in that camp either, because I think it's like, from what I've seen, and obviously, like, I want to hear you speak to it, but it's like this combination of the two, right? In that, like, you know, you're prepared for opportunities, but like you also have something where like I'm just built for this. Like, this is what I do. Like, I see it when the games come down to the end. Like, you relish those opportunities and those moments.
Yeah. No, honestly, I want to shoot the last shot. I want to shoot every big shot. But yeah, I agree. You know, everyone does put in the work, but like you said, it doesn't make you built for that moment. You know, I think, like I said, I've been taking them big shots since I was real young, and it just carried with me. And like when the game's winding down, I kind of do this. Like, I love to just prove, like, yeah, I can make this shot. I feel it's fun, it's enjoyable, for real.
Yeah. Real quick, I got like two more things for you, then I'll let you go. But I want to ask a little bit about just like your rise to, honestly, like celebrity status, in that I know we've talked about like on the court how, you know, you go from playing against high schoolers in Wisconsin to, you know, playing LeBron in the finals, but like the off the court, that transition has got to be just as crazy. Like, you know, you and I were talking at one point and you were like, man, like I can't go shopping. Like what are you talking about? Like, you know, I'm talking about like, yeah, I'm about to go shop, do this thing. And you're like, bro, like, what is shopping in public? Like, I can't do that anymore. Like, I got a whole crew of people behind me if I go and do that. So like, I'm like kidding a little bit, but like with that being said, like you're a different tier in Miami. Like, I'll just call it what it is. How has that adjustment been?
Yeah, I just try to stick to who I am. Like, I feel like, you know, I grew up as a regular ass kid. You know, I'm still 21. I'm normal to everybody. Everyone's normal. Everyone's the same. So it is crazy, like the transition though. Like, because I do try to go outside, and it is obviously different ever since we got back from the bubble. But it's just different now. I'm sure it is for a lot of guys too. But I mean, it's just.
There's levels to this, bro. There's levels. I promise you. Your different and my different are a whole lot different. Let me tell you.
Nah, man. I just it's whatever to me. But yeah, I don't really go shopping no more. Like, I haven't been shopping in forever. I don't go outside too much. I'm in the house. That's
when you know, like, you really got it like that, when like you don't go shopping, like the shopping comes to you. You know what I mean? Like the designer, whatever, ambassadors or whatever, they pull up to your house like, yo, this is the drop we got. Where, you know, I'm still getting in my car driving to, you know, whatever to try to get the latest drop. So all right, I got a question. We asked this for all our guests. When you look back on your journey, and you got a super interesting one, like we said, like particularly the last 2-3 years have been crazy. Is there a moment that sticks out to you of like a pivotal moment that like this was a springboard, this was a catalyst for like my success, and that if this kind of had gone differently, and maybe it's that decommitting moment, or maybe it's something else, a conversation you had or an experience that you had that really kind of shaped things?
Honestly, I would take it back to senior year of high school, like that summer, right before my senior year. I went to the Nike Academy, and it was like a camp, you know, all the top high school players. And we ended up hooping. I was killing at the camp, and this Nike rep came up to me and was just like, yo, you can't go to Wisconsin. Like, that's just not, if you go to Wisconsin, you're messing it up. Like, you can't go there. So I'm like, I start thinking about it more, and it's like, yeah. So I ended up decommitting, but I would say then, because, you know, it was the camp, and then Kobe had actually came and talked to us at the camp. And that was like a changing point where he was just talking about his routine and through the league and what he did in the summer to work out, and, you know, getting up at 3 a.m., working out till 6, you know, getting his kids ready for school, taking a nap, working out again. Like, it's just like a lifestyle that you become obsessed with, that you obviously know. But just things like the thing like that, you know, a conversation with, you know, one of my favorite players was Kobe, and to hear that really just motivated me. And obviously I did make that decommitment and went to Kentucky, and it kind of just changed from there.
So it sounds like the Wisconsin fans should be sending their hate mail to that Nike rep, and not you.
Same thing. It's like, oh no, that guy better be careful.
I like it, man. It's not, take the blame off of you, man. It's some guy from Nike. We don't need to name names, but direct your hate towards him.
Guy from Nike, man.
Yeah, he messed it all up. You could have Final Fours, Wisconsin, man. Could have added to the banners. All right, so we'll wrap up here. We got our undrafted segment. So once again, just a quick explanation. We're looking for the underrated answers. Stay away from the mainstream type stuff. I'm gonna lead it off here. I want to know your undrafted shoe that you like to play in. So maybe like no Kobe's. I know you like Kobe's, but stay away from the Kobe's.
Undrafted shoe would probably be, I know these might be popular, I don't know, Paul George's. I was wearing those at Kentucky for a long time, and they were really comfortable. Like
the older ones though, like
the older ones. Yeah, the ones. And I feel like those are underrated because a lot of people don't wear those, especially now with all the shoes out. But I still rock with those.
I was gonna say you've been wearing them lately, right?
Yeah, the PG1.
How often are you changing your shoes, Tyler? Are you playing in different ones every game?
No, I don't. I have like 6 or 7 shoes I rotate.
Man's got flavors though. There's nothing basic. There's nothing basic going on in Tyler, except for the all black. He'll rock the all black.
The all black, yeah.
The all black PG ones.
I'll get.
Other than that, we got flavors.
All right, I got the next one here for you, Tyler. I want the underappreciated nickname of yours, because you've got some great ones. Boy Wonder, Baby Goat, with the pinky. You got Bucket. Is there one you wish was circulated more? Like, is there one you really, relate to that you think doesn't get enough circulation?
I like the Boy Wonder one. Like, I feel like the Heat have picked up on it. Kentucky did their thing with it. But, I feel like the general people, they'll call me like Bucket or Baby Go, but I like Boy Wonder. And I like that because Bob and I think you met our Duncan knows, but you guys met Fee, I'm pretty sure. Bob.
Yeah.
He made that for me in high school. He just made so we kind of just ran with it, and he was the one who ended up, really making that. So
shout out to Fee, man. That's my guy.
Shout out Fee.
Boy Wonder, right. Good to know. Boy Wonder.
Yeah, I mean this is some big time media coverage. So now that you say that, Boy Wonder is gonna stick, man. You're gonna see it everywhere.
That. I appreciate it. Long shot, man.
There you go.
Our million listeners are gonna love that.
Yeah. All right, number 3, we got your undrafted, underrated aspect of living in the great city of Miami.
We talked about this before we started. I want to go with food, but I feel like there's something that's more unappreciated that I'm missing, and I don't know what it is.
Food's not a bad answer though. I feel like people hate on the Miami food scene like it's not New York or LA, but I think it's on the come up. I really do. Granted, I don't really have much to compare it to, but still.
Yeah, I would say the food for sure. Then I'm gonna go with the food. But
all right, is there a restaurant you like?
Carbone. Have you been there?
No, man. Everybody keeps talking about that. I gotta go.
Carbone's is good. I've been there twice. It's good.
Yeah, I know they have one in New York, but I think it just opened in Miami here, right on the beach.
Yeah, recently.
I love it, man. All right, bro. Well, hey, thank you for giving us some of your time. We know you're plenty busy, so thanks for taking the time, bro. We certainly really appreciate it, and yeah, man. Well, I'll see you at practice tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow, man. I appreciate you guys for sure.
Yep. All right, bro.
All right.